Okay. Greetings, blessings to everybody who has joined. I'm so excited that y'all are going to be joining us tonight for our collaboration with Read2Me TT, coming all the way from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
And we are going to be reading a bedtime story for the young people and the parents as well. I think everybody will enjoy the selection that we have tonight. Muhammad, what's up?
Yeah, so the name of the story is Zion's Heart, and I wrote it for some of the very special babies in my life. But I'm here to share it with everyone. It's about a little girl who saved the world because her heart is so special. And as we know, all children's hearts are very, very special. And all of our hearts as well. So the adults out there, some of this may resonate with you as well. So this is Zion's Heart.
Well, I want to introduce myself real quick.
Right. Me too. Crap.
My name is Sa-Roc. If you are joining in from my page, then you already know that. But if you're joining in from Read2Me site or any other site, I am a hip hop artist, AKA a rapper. And basically, I perform all over the world. And I get on stage and I grab a microphone and I recite rhymes to a beat. Right? And also, you know what else I do? I go to different schools all around the country and I teach children and their parents about how to eat healthy and eating your veggies and your greens and your fruits. So I love just working with children, and I'm so happy that we get to read this beautiful book tonight, Zion's Heart. Muhammad?
My name is Muhammad Muwakil, and I am the lead singer of a band called Freetown. And like Sa-Roc, I also go to schools, but not to teach about healthy eating, but to teach people about self-esteem and believing in themselves. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so, first of all, I want to say, thank y'all for joining us. I know sometimes it's hard being in the house, all the time. But one of the beautiful things about books and stories and reading is that you can travel anywhere your imagination can take you, right? So tonight we're going to travel through the imagination and the mind and the story of Zion. You ready?
Yes.
I said, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This one is called Zion's Heart. High up on a hill they called mountain, far, far from buildings and cars, a little girl through her window was counting every one of infinity's stars. 31, 32, 33, 34. She'd count and she'd count till she could count no more. And when she would start to nod and blink, her father would say, "That's enough, I think. Papa, once more, please tell me the tale of the fish and the stars and that boat you did sell. That boat in the yard that floats like a kite. Papa, once more. Just once more tonight." And her father, now tired, would begin with a sigh.
Okay, Zion. Just once more tonight.
And as he opened his mouth, so did the roof of their house. And the moon and the stars all gathered around.
Fishermen all, we were fishermen true. And long have we done as fishermen do. That boat that you see, now tied in the yard, is built to catch fish that live among stars. For up there, my love, is the great black beyond, and wondrous things you can barely dream of. These fish here on earth aren't like those in the stars. Those fish in the stars made us all who we are. You see, long before you came, somewhere a long time, we traded our hearts so that we all could climb on buildings that stretched far into the sky, up and up. No high was too high. Cars that went fast, rockets, planes, and trains. But once we traded our hearts, it didn't matter what we'd gained. I mean, at first we were happy. We lived well for a while. But one morning we woke up and no one could smile. No laughter was heard, of joy not a sound. And to us nothing mattered from the sky to the ground. We broke down those buildings we had built with such care, searching for our hearts, but our hearts were not there. And then, when all was destroyed that we had built over years, we looked to the skies, our eyes filled with tears. Then we built these boats that could sail way up high. If our hearts weren't on earth, we would search in the sky. Zion, I was the first, and what wonders, sweet girl. Up there fish live in bubbles, and every bubble's a world, and every world's filled with joy. Will you lend me a smile? I asked the first fish I came upon that night. Maybe I will lend you some laughs from my laughter. You've lost your heart, human. I know what you're after. Answer me my riddle. It's quite simple, you see, and I'll swim in your middle, where your heart used to be.
What did he ask, Papa? I need to know.
He said, show me a living piece of earth on which no plant will grow, that eats plants for a living and then plants eat. Don't you know? I thought well for a while for an answer, you see. Then the answer was clear, for the answer was me. And by me, I mean man. The fish laughed and then left its bubble of a word and now lives in my chest. And with joy in my veins, I sailed to earth that night. All the wrongs we had done, I would now set them right. And I spoke of a truth I had learned among stars. And every man took a boat and returned with a fish for a heart. But when the children were born with holes in their chests, we still had no hearts had we not paid our debts. And so to the sky for more fish than we knew, so they could laugh and cry and know love as they grew.
But wait, Papa, wait. If your stories are true, why do all my friends always frown like they do? And everyone I know, no one laughs, no one cries. Seems like the only ones who feel anything are you, Papa, you and I. And you tell me to hide my smile when we're out and around? How come no one ever smiles when we're out on the town?
I've never told you, my dear, of these fish in our chests, of living and laughing. We're the only two left. We never could catch enough fish for us all, and in the end, Zion, that was our downfall. You see, some people thought they should have all the joy. So they began to steal fish from the girls and the boys. They gave them things for their fish. What a fishy agenda. But all the things in the world couldn't equal their laughter. But oh, what a shame. They were too young to remember. And they stole and they stole as much as they could and locked them behind doors of thick steel and dark wood. But out of our bodies too long, those fish won't survive. When they checked on their treasures, those fish weren't alive. So they stole and they stole. Nothing caused them to cease. Then they took to the sky for their wealth to increase. But after a while, not too long of a time, all the fish in the sky went as silent as mimes. No riddle for fish, no fish for a riddle. And all those wealthy men watched all their wealth dwindle. And so here we are, after centuries have passed, after all of mankind's wars, you and I are the last. So never you tell them of that fish you possess. They won't think twice to steal it right out of your chest.
Those were his last words as she drifted to dream of joy and of fear, of fish and of thieves. And in a dream, what a dream! The moon knocked on her window. Wake up, Zion, I have something to show you. And on the moon she rode, passing stars, causing a stir. Then to a council of fish who were waiting for her. Can you hear these words? We are speaking to you. Long have men lost ears to hear as you do. Greed became their trend. All that war, all those years, men we once called friend, now listened, but did not hear. That look in your eyes, we've not seen it for some time. Do you laugh when you're happy? When you're sad, do you cry? Do you still have your wonder, gaze on the stars when you wish? Little girl, in your chest, does there still swim a fish? And she laughed out loudly, confirming their thoughts. Then the fish became noisy. You must stay here with us. But my papa, my people, she said teary-eyed, confirming again that a fish was inside. You can save them all, with all that you feel. But this is a dream, Zion. Won't you come see us for real? She woke with a start and immediately started for the window to the yard where the sail ship was floating. And in the sky, she gazed down on a planet of blue. The dream in her head had been truer than true. And she turned to find fish waiting just as before. Do you still wish to save them? Little girl, are you sure? They will only end up fighting. They will steal. They will lie. She looked down at the blue ball floating and said, well, I still have to try. Papa loves me. Others would love their babies too. But they weren't born with hearts, so they don't know what to do. It's not their fault they're empty-handed. They're empty-hearted. They're not to be blamed. See, all of this started long before we ever came. So help me, fishes, and we'll do our best. I'll make sure to prove that we're better than those who came before. The fish all applauded, amazed by her speech. Now here is a daughter. Her is one we can teach. Then we'll show you a secret, how to grow your own heart from what you already have if you would lend us a laugh. Laughs, I have many, she said, throwing her head back to the sky. She laughed out from her belly, and a laugh turned the tide. Take the curl of your laugh, roll it up in your hands, kiss it with love like only you understand. Plant it deep in the soil on that blue planet you see. Speak to it in love every day, and there will grow a tree. And its fruit will beat rhythms, making sounds no one's heard. For centuries and centuries in your cold, heartless world, these fruits, they are hearts. Fragile, sweet, and strong. And they have the power to make smiles out of frowns, to write stories and dream, end wars or begin them. Hearts will give and receive. What matters is what's in them. And your job now is heavy, should you choose to accept. You decide who gets what, which heart, for whose chest. Can you do it, my dear? She paused for a while. I don't know how I'll fare, but I'll give it a try. Back to earth she came, and using only her laughter, she planted an orchard of trees with the help of her father. Then she called all the people, and this child told a story of how people once had hearts, but then fell from glory. And when she was finished, each chest was wide open to receive a gift that could never be stolen. For that is the way in which hearts are made. They can never be taken, only given away. And I don't expect you to remember or believe as I do, but surely I assure you that my story is true. So should there ever be a time when men are heartless again, I've written these rhymes for us to remember, my friends. Of possessions and treasures, more will always be less. Everything you will ever need always already resides in your chest. That was so easy. Y'all give a hand. Let me see them clap emojis in the comments for Muhammad. He wrote this beautiful story called Zion's Heart. I just had a pleasure reading that. That was
I had a
beautiful.
pleasure listening. Thank you. That was
so
wonderful.
cool.
I hope the babies loved it.
Yeah, I hope y'all loved it. I hope y'all were listening with open hearts. This is a story that we could all learn from. So thank you guys for joining us this week for Read to Me, TNT. I really, really appreciated it.
But before you go, one thing you have to remember. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Are y'all listening?
Do you want to be little superheroes? Do you know what you can do? Here's what you can do. You need to wash your hands with soap. And while you're washing your hands, you sing happy birthday. You know how many times? Twice. Sing happy birthday twice to make sure that it's clean. And make sure that your mommies and your daddies and you are wearing your masks when you go outside. Yeah? Be safe. Be safe. Okay.
Make sure y'all tune in to Read to Me. That's READ number 2, me_TT on Instagram to hear the next story with the next 2 dope readers tomorrow. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, y'all.
Thank you.
Please make sure y'all follow Muhammad. Pop your I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna pop his Instagram handle on there. Dope writer, dope artist. So yeah, thank y'all so much for joining us. This was so fun. Thank y'all, parents, babies. Thank you, Muhammad, for sharing this beautiful story with us.
Sa-Roc, for
Yes,
reading.
and I hope y'all receive that in your hearts.
Love.
Peace and love. Good
Peace out.
night.